Merry Christmas. What up, viewers? What up? What up? That is the best April Fool's Day joke I could come up with on the spot. Anyway, I'm Count Soups, and today is Friday, April 1st, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. First off, we got a video game launch. Weird West, a RPG that I've been kind of looking forward to from Devolver Digital, is launching. It launched today, or it launched this week, actually. It's currently a 78 Metacritic, so if you're looking for a stylish action RPG kind of cowboy shoot 'em up, it looked pretty crazy. I've seen a couple of the trailers for it where I think there's pigs that explode and crazy I think pig people, and yeah, so there's a whole bunch of craziness. I think it's living up to its name, Weird West. It's also launching day and date on Game Pass, so for all those Game Pass subscribers, you can play Weird West right now. If you're not buried under a mountain of Elden Ring, Total War, Warhammer 3, and Wonderlands like I am. But yeah, looking forward to eventually playing Weird West and playing it on Game Pass. So if you do pick up Weird West and play it, let me know what you think down below in the comments. MLB The Show, everybody's favorite baseball franchise video game, is in early access. They had a really weird kind of launch schedule. So for the digital deluxe and MVP edition buyers, they got a couple days early access. But the weird thing that I saw this week was that Game Pass subscribers can pay $50 to get early access, which feels a little weird. You might as well buy the full game for $60 or $70. And the game only launches on Tuesday, so I know that a lot of people really care about early access sometimes. I think even EA Origin people get early access. That last bit was a joke, just talking about FIFA and how their early access and the Madden NFL early access stuff. It's typically an EA thing where they screw up early access and only give it to certain people and certain days. And anyway, this was just kind of harken back to that. So a weird schedule, but for all those MLB fans, I bet they'll pick it up and enjoy it. And sometimes they'll pay $50 even if they have Game Pass. So just a little weird kind of release schedule thing that I saw this week. But for all you MLB fans, batters up and enjoy playing either this weekend or on Tuesday when it fully launches. I was struck with probably the worst thing that could happen this week. There was an announcement that Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed into 2023. There was just a 90-second video. I'll have it down below in the description. Yeah, the executive producer came on, talked for 90 seconds about how the game has been delayed. They're taking a little bit more time to develop. I'm fully okay with that. If you would have asked me in 2017, would Breath of the Wild get a sequel? I'd probably say yeah. And if I had to guess when it would come out, I would have probably picked it for springtime. So I think this is perfectly fine. I think most people have a lot to play right now and will have a lot to play in the coming year. So hopefully we'll get Breath of the Wild maybe in the same March timeframe that we got the first Breath of the Wild. So let me know what you think the release date will be down below. E3 is fully canceled, so not in the social media kind of way, but the digital portion of E3. So there wasn't going to be a physical portion this year, so they were going to go digital only. And now the ESA has confirmed that the digital version is also canceled. So I assume that a bunch of the publishers maybe backed out. They're going to do their own thing. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do with E3 this year. Jeff Keighley has already kind of stepped up to fill the void. He's having another Summer Game Fest, so expect another 2-hour celebrity-ridden game showcase. So should be pretty fun, but I can also see that it'd be scattered to the winds like E3 was in 2020, where EA was like in the middle of June, and then Ubisoft Forward was at the early July, and then I think there was something else at the end of August. So it was all big, crazy kerfuffle. So I can expect, rather than having 3 or 4 days of hardcore E3, we're going to have 3 or 4 months of sprinkled out publisher announcements. So looking forward to that, but hopefully we get a lot of what we're looking for from E3 at Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. PlayStation has finally announced their competitor to Game Pass, even though I think some people are taking a little offense to it being a direct competitor, because it kind of isn't. So what they've done, and I got the email this week too, talking about their PlayStation Plus tiers. So the first tier for $60 is the same PlayStation Plus and love. You get a couple of free games every month. You get access to the internet or online gaming, and that's your base tier. The second tier gets you the same internet access and all that kind of stuff. It also gets you 400 free games. I think that was about it. Like, it gives you access to a large library of PlayStation games across PS4 and PS5, and that was for $100 a year. And then tier 3 gave you 350 more games. It gave you access to demos, so you can play like a timed demo of any game you want. I don't quite understand what the stipulation was there. You can also play PSP games and PS3 games streaming, and all of that was bundled up for $120. So I've kind of done a little bit of due diligence on a little bit of the kind of discourse. This definitely doesn't feel like a Game Pass. They're not going to be doing day-and-day releases for their popular titles. We don't know what the 400 or 750 titles will be. So we definitely didn't get a lot of information. And this kind of just went out as like a press release. There wasn't a trailer or anything. They didn't really talk through it. Jim Ryan didn't get on camera or anything. So this was a pretty kind of lazy way to announce this. And all in all, I don't think it lives up to kind of what Game Pass is, where you get day-and-date games, you get a large library of titles, you get a bunch of indie titles as well as a bunch of first-party titles. So as far as like wallet share, it does compete with PlayStation Plus tiers, does compete with Game Pass, but as far as subscription service and game streaming and all that kind of stuff, you're just not getting the same kind of value. You're also paying a little bit more if you're an Xbox Game Pass Plus Ultimate subscriber or Game Pass subscriber. So because I think that runs $15 a month, so $180 a year. So you're paying a little bit more, but I think you're getting way more of a service for it. I also think it's a little bit. Jim Ryan also responded to this, saying that like, we don't need to do day-and-date games because people will still pay $60 up front. So I think that was a little bit of a jab at Microsoft, saying that the games aren't up to their quality, which hopefully when all of the kind of newly acquired first parties come under Microsoft, they're going to have a very strong portfolio. So hopefully then, he'll be eating those words. But, that's coming from me, a slightly Xbox leaning fan, but you can look at my old Friend Zone episode about my opinions on Xbox versus PlayStation. Let me know what you think of the two down below and what tier PlayStation Plus you will be subscribing to, if at all. Dyson, the vacuum company, made a set of headphones that comes with a face mask that purifies the air you breathe in. This was not a April Fool's joke. This was a real product. I don't remember seeing a price tag or anything like that, but it just really caught my eye this week, so I just wanted to talk about it. It was like there's a small kind of plastic device that the air feeds through and then blows into you and then it purifies it. They didn't talk anything about like COVID or how purified it makes the air, or if it's N95 rated or anything like that, which it probably isn't because it was kind of all open air above and below. But yeah, they were really kind of hyping it up, and so I thought it was an April Fool's Day joke. And it turns out it isn't. So check that out down in the links below. There's also a Witcher cookbook. I think there's a lot of video game cookbooks we've seen in the past couple months, so why not add The Witcher to it? I'm just waiting for Henry Cavill to dress up as Geralt and do a cooking show. I think that'd be a pretty fun promo for the cookbook, but I don't know that the cookbook from The Witcher has that kind of marketing dollars to spend on something like that. But I think it looks pretty fun. I do enjoy getting some of the video game cookbooks. and reading through those and making some of those things. So I'll definitely probably check that one out. So let me know what you think or what your favorite Witcher recipe is down below. Speaking of April Fool's Day, so those past two stories weren't April Fool's Day jokes, but I did actually get caught by one of them, and so there was a large, of course, all the gaming companies usually like to dig in and have a lot of fun with April Fool's Day. There was a World of Warcraft patch making fun of, or at least alluding to Elden Ring. One of the ones that I saw this week, I got an email about a haptic suit, and did you want to be a tester for Razer's new haptic suit, kind of like in Ready Player One, where it would give you full feedback, and it was like it had the word metaverse in it. So I didn't actually catch on to that, and so I signed up to try and be a tester, but I think it was just trying to get me into their marketing pool. So it was all kind of fun. It was fun to see, and turns out that was a April Fool's Day joke. So haha. Inner Sloth also has today only has a your little meeple and now has 4 legs and looks like a horse. So as you're playing Among Us, you can now play as a horse, and you can still do all the masks and stuff like that. So I've seen some pretty horrifying horse Among Us imposters. So that'll be pretty fun to check out. Moving right along, the sequel to The Forest, the co-op horror game that I played a couple years ago, was actually really fun. The sequel is coming out soon, but has been delayed from May of this year to October. So I'm probably more likely to pick up and play it with friends. A nice spooky game, especially co-op horror game. I'm more likely to pick that up in October. So I'm looking forward to picking that up then, and I'll still probably be buried under a mountain of games by May, so hopefully I can clear it up and set aside some time, because I really enjoyed the first game, so I'm looking forward to the second one, and I bet I could get a pretty good group together and we can play through it as well. Last but not least, the 40K version, the Warhammer 40K version of Vermintide is coming out. This one called Darktide. I've been talking about kind of Left 4 Dead clones for quite some time. And so this one is finally launching. I think this is the last of the wave of Left 4 Dead clones that I was talking about with Anticrisis and Back 4 Blood and Aliens Fireteam Elite, or whatever they renamed their game to. This is the kind of last one in the wave, but Warhammer Darktide is launching on October 13th. On September 13th. Sorry, got October stuck in my brain. But yeah, it launches September 13th. And yeah, I really liked the first Vermintide game. I like Left 4 Dead games. I played through Back 4 Blood for both a Friend Zone game, and so my entire playthrough is up on YouTube if you want to check that out. So I really like the Left 4 Dead games, and the fact that this one is 40K themed and you'll be fighting Tyranids and Chaos Monster, I'm pretty excited for. So looking forward to picking up Darktide in September. And I'm a huge Warhammer 40K fan, or Warhammer fan, as you can tell by my playthrough of Total War Warhammer 3, and any kind of Warhammer property, because I used to enjoy playing the tabletop game. But I digress. That's it for the week. If you feel like it left anything out, or if I forgot any big stories, feel free to leave a comment down below. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch, so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!